Talking about the orientation, does it matter how you install these motors? Does it matter which way, left, right? I'll go over that for you. Here, this is a CMD72, and this is technically the proper orientation with the motor above the limit switches. From practice, we found out it doesn't matter a whole lot, but there is some condensation drain holes right here. So it's the best oriented like this, because that way the condensation drains. In dairy applications, we generally always have this in a pocket. So a curtain pocket protected from the elements, because we want it to work when it's freezing. Greenhouses, they don't even bother putting them in pockets. There is nothing like that. And then it's really important. But for dairy, we have it in pockets because we want them to work below freezing. If you got them out in Mother Nature, if we get a lot of freezing rain, everything's going to freeze fast. So you can take these screws out and flip this creeper around either side so that you can mount it this way or the shaft that way and still have the motor on the top with the limit switches on the bottom. Just flip these out. The instructions show you how to do it. Just take these screws out, flip it around. And that is true for the CMD 115 as well. You can take these screws out. Same deal as this one. This one technically is upside. Now it's right side up. This would be the best condensation draining. The condensation will drain out the best this way. I mean, we really haven't had an issue with it, but technically the condensation drain holes are up here. Now for the CMD 180, this one really matters. You really badly need to keep this motor on the top. This gearbox has some grease oil in it, I call it. It's like thin grease. And if you mount it like this, the grease can creep in along the brushes. So you want to mount it this way. You don't want to mount it like this, because then sometimes the grease will come into the limit switches. This is the proper orientation, right like this. Really important for this motor. We have almost no problems with it, except if you mount it like this. After about 4 years, you may get grease in here and it's going to foul up the brushes. The 401 orientation, this is how it's normally done. There is a shaft in here, and we had a couple leak some grease down in here. They updated the seals since then, but this is how we often mount them. You can mount them completely upside down. Either way works. If you can mount them completely upside down, make sure you don't, these cord grips, it might be a good idea to caulk them, because water runs in anything that heads downhill. We haven't had any experience with it, but it's something on the back of my mind. The cord entrances and all these others they're potted. There's like, if you rip the cord off, good luck in replacing it, because it's potted, sealed really well. These you can replace the cords, but if you have it flipped upside down, I would advise caulking right around here. So that's the orientation of these motors for your livestock curtains, and we wish you the best. If you got any questions, give us a holler.